everybody. Today I'm going to talk about Catwoman Hunted. Now, this came out back in February, and that was basically a year ago, and I think I saw this on demand only once, so sorry this review is kind of vague. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, and it's hard to find other movies once they're new releases. And most DC animated movies you have to go look for and buy. But anyway, I might as well talk about my history of Catwoman. I always liked Catwoman. Like, I loved playing as her in the Arkham games. You can switch from Batman to Catwoman. Very awesome stuff. And, what do I think of the Catwoman movie? I've never watched it, and I've heard enough about that movie. So, this movie's really refreshing, because I can just tell this is way better than that movie. And there was a Catwoman short film. I watched half of it. It got too sexual, and I didn't watch the rest of it. So, anyway, this movie's about Catwoman, played by Liz Gillies. If you don't know who that is, watch Victorious. If you're a big Victorious fan, you know who I'm talking about. Somehow, I feel Jade West is just perfect for the role of Catwoman. Like, Liz was definitely meant for this role, and she definitely did a really great job with the voiceover for Catwoman. So this movie's about Catwoman going on a heist. It's a heist movie where she wants to steal some gem from a black mask, but she runs into trouble on the way, and she teams up with Batwoman in this. Batwoman's kind of controversial, since, the Batwoman show. Yeah, I never really watched that show, but to see Batwoman in this was kind of cool. I don't know. It's just like the costume definitely was accurate to what she looks like in the comic books and the show. And the voiceover was alright. I don't know who plays Batwoman in this, but I really like this animation style. It's like an anime style movie. You can say this is anime or not, but I think it is. Like, just look at the style, like, the colors, the backgrounds, and it looks like they put a lot of work into this movie, because this movie's definitely underrated. Like, for example, there's a scene where Catwoman goes to this party. That's where the heist starts. And it's like, we get a bunch of Easter eggs. We get old Catwoman costumes from, like, the comic books. We get Batman, Joker. We get, like, Black Lightning, Superman, Supergirl. People just dressed up as the characters, and it shows the wider DC universe for sure. There's definitely a lot of DC characters for sure in this movie. So as Catwoman goes on this heist, she does run into a bunch of villains towards, I guess, the finale, where even though she's forced to work with the cops and Batwoman, she ends up fighting this, I think, Cheetah, Solomon Grundy for sure, and this one girl from Young Justice. She's the one with, like, the kabuki mask and, like, the green outfit. I think she's related to Artemis in Young Justice. I don't know for sure, but definitely we've had a bunch of characters that are familiar for sure. I felt like it felt a little repetitive when Catwoman was just fighting villain after villain after villain. But I think it worked out, though, maybe. And then there's this one scene I felt like talking about. I felt it was most memorable. It's kind of a sexual scene. It's where I think, like, Catwoman's in the bathtub and she gets out and she takes off her towel and, like, I think she kisses Batwoman in this. I think they made Catwoman bisexual in this movie. Nothing wrong with that, of course. It just felt like saying that, and that was like, I meant, like, this is like the most memorable part of the movie for sure, where she takes off Batwoman's mask and we find out what she looks like. Because I was wondering what she looked like without the mask, out of curiosity. That's all. So yeah. And I think Batman's in this universe. We do get a few references to him. I wish we could have gotten like a cameo, maybe. Honestly, it would have been nice. But some movie, I know, like, it's kind of cliche saying that, since people always want Batman in a movie. But DC movies should, like, definitely take risk and try other things other than just having Batman. Because DC could work without Batman. There's plenty of examples, for sure. maybe. And so I feel like there's not much else to say about this movie. I think Black Mask is in this movie. I don't really remember too much from him, but he's basically like the every mob boss you can think of in an animated movie. We don't really see him in animated stuff. He wasn't in Batman the Animated Series. He was in the Arkham games, but that's about it. He had a major part in those games, but other than that, not much. Black Mask was in the Birds of Prey movie. He was played by Obi-Wan, and that was probably the only memorable Black Mask I can think about. I think my favorite would be like the Arkhamverse Black Mask. Other versions are alright. But so that's Catwoman Hunted. I think the next review might be Werewolf by Night, the Marvel Halloween special. I might talk about that maybe next week. I might pick another movie on the list for my ranking for the movies. But Catwoman Hunted was definitely a 7 out of 10 with great animation, good voice cast. Liz Gilly is definitely great as Catwoman. I'd like to see more of her. And there was some story issues. I felt the movie was the weakest out of the animated movies. It wasn't bad. I liked other DC movies like Super Pets or Green Lantern Beware My Power. But this is definitely a movie to watch. Like, if you see it on HBO Max, definitely watch it. So, with that said, thanks for watching, and see you guys.